I should really do like a stand so I don't have to hold my phone. I like the silver one, but I think I look better with the red one. Silver's kind of cool though. Just makes you look really pale. So I'm gonna do my dreams kind of out of order because I recorded this one on my iPad. And it was just kind of interesting. So this is from 12/5/24. Yeah, so like yesterday. I have a whole bunch of other ones, but we'll just do this one. So I was buying dice. I play like Dungeons and Dragons and a lot of board games. And I was thinking about buying a set for my potential wife because I'm supposed to walk and talk with her by Christmas. And so a lot of people, when God promises stuff, they get very frustrated. That's actually a problem I'm having with Rebecca. When there's a lot of hopelessness, we tend to cling to despair. And I kind of like to make myself comfortable in misery because it doesn't do me any good to get reckless, drive my car into a tree, and now I have a problem because I don't have a car and I have to get my car fixed or spend money to get a new car. Or I can get hurt and then I'll lose more money, and it can just make a headache for everyone. But if you can suffer diligently, you can work your way out of it. Remember, we have a spiritual power problem in America, not a mental health problem. And to explain that kind of quickly, when it comes to your physical health, people try to get you to be like not in pain or kind of healthy. So if you're at like a -2 in life, they try to get you to a 0. Well, with the mental health crisis, you have a population that's still under the influence of the demonic. The demonic still want you to fail. They want to kill, steal, and destroy, as the Bible says. And we have a whole population that isn't praying for protection, praying for the life they want, praying for the spouse they want. I've dated more people than all of my friends, and it wasn't like, there were times in my life I was handsome, there's times in my life I definitely wasn't. But even when I weighed 320 pounds, I would meet people because I'd pray. And prayer is a good way to get information. It's a good way to, if you're, I see these people that are way obese, they're in despair, they want help, they don't know how to get help. They say, I wish I could do something, but I just can't. And I know, and this is one of the things I want to talk about in the future, like if you just pray, you'd be surprised. Like I was telling God, I'm trying to get handsome. Like I don't need to be beautiful, but I'd like to like wear good clothes and wear, just like pick out my glasses, pick out my jewelry, like et cetera, et cetera. But earlier these past few months, I had a lot of spiritual warfare to get through. I had a lot of training to get through. I have a lot of what's called the pressing. Like God puts us through things in order to get more fat of us, like more, strength and process. Like I told Rebecca, she says, what else do I have to learn? I said, this is a marathon. You need to learn that it's a marathon. You need to get used to it being a marathon. It's not a race. It doesn't end. It ends when you're good at running a marathon. When you can run a marathon and it's like comfortable, you'll be okay. So anyways, like I was praying and God said, don't worry, you'll be beautiful again. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of wonderful to hear, because you kind of think sometimes it might be vain to want to be beautiful. God said, don't worry, you'll be beautiful again. I was like, oh, okay, thank you, God, I appreciate that. Anyways, if you want a spouse, pray for it, especially if you're watching the story from the future and it works out, and I believe it will. And you want a magical fairy tale type story like this one, just pray about it. Pray about it 3 times a day. But be wise, be patient. There's the prophet called Tomi Ariyomi, and he had a woman who was praying to meet her spouse, and she asked him, like, who is it? And he told her, And so this guy comes up, it's a story about Steve, and she goes, we're gonna get married. And the guy was just like, what? No. And I do believe he'll come back around in the future, but had she been a little more gentle, like, hi, I'm, so-and-so, let's talk. Would you like to go on a date? It would have been better. So both angles, I want you to pray, and I want you to also be wise. God has a lot of good plans for you, and he has more if you engage, but we don't like to engage. We like to do whatever we want. But some of you do. Some of you, I learned from Jordan Peterson, spend a lot of time with the people who are productive, who are go-getters. Don't spend all your time with the lazy people who are dragging their feet. So I'm going to work with both people. And so for those of you that are proactive, pray about everything. Pray about your gifts, your family, your friends. Pray they have good days. Pray they meet spouses. Pray them and their spouses get along, them and their kids get along, their kids mature. You can pray for celebrities. I pray for a lot of celebrities. And it's fun because, you get so good at prayer. You'll pray for people, and then all of a sudden, their life gets better. There were some actors that were having a hard time losing weight, and I like one in particular, and I was like, God, I really like that actor. He played some great movies. Can you help him with his weight? And then a month later, I see he's lost 150 pounds. And he just said, one day I just woke up and I wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, you're welcome. Now all glory does go to God, but God rules heaven and earth, and we rule earth. And we rule earth with God. And there's a lot of things God leaves for us to do, and a lot of work that needs to be done. And it's a lot of fun to do it. I tell my roommate, he says, why do you pray so much? Because I'll go to work early to pray. And I said, because if you could do magic, you would do it often. And prayer is like magic, except for prayer is miracles. And miracles, if magic is, a penny, then miracles is $1 million. But anyways, so in this dream, I'm buying dice. I think I'm buying them as a gift for my potential wife that I will walk and talk with. It started raining, so I think deeper into a Christmas sort of spirit, because I like the rain, so it's deeper into the month. And then it was dark, so I think a moment of light is coming. The moment hasn't come, but we're preparing for it. And then we were going to play board games in the dream, which we just did. We just played board games this last night. It was wonderful. My friend can definitely cook some chicken fingers. Oh my God, best I've ever had. I love it. I pay for the food. He cooks the food. It's a wonderful relationship. I see the neighbor doing stuff that looks sketchy, but I watch because you always stare at the eyes of the dragon. So whenever you see something creepy, and I felt fear, I was like, nope, if I feel fear, I have to watch more intently now. So dark, I think, and I see these long shadows with them too. So I think I need to be careful because when I sin, because I have the mantles of the office of the apostle and the teacher and the king, just like what happened to King David in the Bible, it ruins a lot of things. Because basically I help be somebody who works for heaven as a king on earth. Now that doesn't mean I have to be a politician. That doesn't mean I have to be president. I think it'd be cool to be president one day. I want to, or at least I want to think about it and talk to God about it. But when I mess up, especially sexually, there's big consequences because I work between the kingdom of heaven and earth. So it's a very big deal, just like with King David. So if I'm meeting my potential wife, that has to be a very serious conversation. Can't fool around before we're married. Which I'm not like a lot of guys. If I get engaged, I don't need a long time to get married. I don't need to wait years and years, or even that many months. But that'll be a conversation I have to have. And I've been told by a prophet that she's going to see these, or at least she's watching me. So she might be watching my dreams, but I think she might see these videos. So part of what I'm doing is talking to her as I talk to you guys. So hopefully She's quick-witted and kind of picking up on that. Let's see. Oh my God, this conversation is happening in my dream notes. Okay, so, wow, look at this. This is so crazy. Okay, so what just happened, right? Combining houses, both minds, which I think is happening. And what did I just say? I think she's watching. Okay. Some of the lights don't turn on. So I said that to her in case she didn't get it, in case it wasn't clicking. In my notes, I write, so maybe she hasn't figured it out just yet. I just, like we're seeing the combination of my visions and what I'm saying to you happen and crisscross in real time. So this is one of those super cool moments that are so hard to capture. Oh my God. Like, if you guys are paying attention to the supernatural and you guys like the supernatural, like this is that moment. Like this should really like give you butterflies in your stomach for what is possible with Christianity. And remember, I do this only because I bothered God until he did this. Don't think I'm special. Like I chose God first and then God chose me first after that because God lives outside of time. So he set up stuff like this. So super cool moment. Let's continue. I turn one light off so I don't blow a fuse. I don't want to overwhelm my potential wife that I'm dream sharing with. So obviously, I'm gonna calm down now because I don't want to overload her. Because like I said before, right, with Tomi Ariyomi and the Steve story, if you do this too much or too hardcore, you can overwhelm people. So it's very, very interesting. Okay, so back to the spy balloon. So I think China's spying on us, and part of my job is to watch out for that and also make sure I'm not messing up sexually, because I think that's where the problems will start to arrive. Because as I mess up, Earth loses, I'm not quite sure how God judges it, but like it feels to me like Earth kind of loses some of its protection, because a lot of bad stuff is protected against, and especially when God's children who believe and acknowledge God are obedient, a lot of stuff is protected against because we're working towards God and God loves us and protects us. And then for people like me, it's even more so because I have chosen to and acknowledged and accepted the role of teacher and having the mantle. So those are two big things. Okay, I'm sitting on the floor in this combined house and I hear the power turn back on and I hear, oh, thank God. So I'm thinking she wants to hear more about the combined house. And so right now she's happy that I'm going back to talking about, I hear the air conditioner turn back on a moment later. So probably it's going to cool down now. I was in the bathroom and really putting my back into it. The air conditioner on, so things are starting to hum, things are starting to turn on. I feel like I'm missing something. God, what am I missing? Yeah, so things are starting to come together because I think she's starting to figure out, I might be speaking like 3 steps further than you guys because I like to kind of lead you along. I think she's figuring out that she'll be spending Christmas here, which is very cool. Cleaning my bathroom, really putting my back into it because like it needed to be clean. And then my roommate, whose house I live in, is helping me clean it too. So he's helping too. And he even said that, we talked about that today. I was like, hey, I had a dream. And he knows the name of the person. And I said, I think she's gonna spend Christmas here. Is that okay? He's like, I would never stop that from happening, which was really wonderful because I've lived with a lot of like men who were, I had to be more of the grown up, and so he's very mature, and that's really taking a lot of burden off of me. Not in a bad way burden, because you'll burden for your like best friends, but like a lot of weight off my shoulders. There you go. And I felt so much love in that moment. Like, oh my God. Like I could feel him taking on certain responsibilities, and I just, so he's like, yeah, we'll clean this and we'll wash that and, clean this up a bit. He has some covers for his couches because he has dogs and cats. So I think in my previous dreams, where we meet Christmas Eve are true. I think we're spending Christmas together. Look, I just did it again. And then I saw this guy that looks like my roommate's stepdad looking at me from another period in time. So I think I give him the gifts of the Spirit. The man has an incredible heart. Like, just, I have never seen something like it. Like, it was like, his heart was like a ×4 gift. I was like, whoa, just whoa. Like, I've never seen a man love his stepchild or his wife in such a way. Like, just the strength of his heart was just amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna give him the gifts. Small 3-story buildings, like small houses, 3 rows of 3 of them. So I think it's people watching me spiritually or trying to. I'm probably gonna pray so they can see what they're going after. So it might be that the potential wife, right, the person, I'm not mentioning her name, has like 9 friends, or like 3 groups of 3 friends, and they're all kind of paying attention. And then I had my iPad charging, so maybe I need it for Christmas. I usually take it on photo shoots, and I'm trying to do a post-apocalyptic photo shoot soon, so I might be doing that soon. And then I saw someone getting dressed. I saw her getting dressed, getting ready, and it was like this kind of like jumpsuit type thing. Like the shirt and the pants were like one, and it was. I'm not gonna say the color because there's like a prophecy about what color it is, but she was considering butterflies on it. I saw like shadow butterflies, like the consideration of butterflies. But yeah, so that was the dreams for 11/5/24. My lady, if you're out there, I love you. For anyone who is not going to be my future wife, I love you guys too. And remember, if you want a spouse, tell God. If you want to follow your dreams, tell God. If you're married and it's not working, talk to God. He can turn anything into something awesome. Even if you're completely miserable, talk to him and he'll walk you through it, and he can walk you to these quadruple benefit type futures where you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get what I want. And I know a lot of guys are frustrated, like in the future they feel like their wives have maybe given up on their figure, or wives, like your husband just doesn't care about anything. But prayer can bring everything back on track. It's like magic fuel that you put in a lamp that will bring forth stories of Aladdin and Jasmine and Ariel and Prince Eric. Like, if you don't trust in God, you need to trust me. Okay? But yeah, I love you guys.